Yo, you're listening to a HipKnokerZ production. Get up! HipKnokerZ on the beat.
Yo, what's going on? It's HipKnokerZ again with another tutorial. I'm starting to think of placing these as like volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, but every time I think of a volume, I think of many books within a category. So I'm not going to say volume. Alright. This is officially chapter 2. First chapter was Ahmed from South Africa, and chapter 2 is going to be brought to you by Bilateral Assembly. You can go ahead and check them out at www.bilateralassembly.com. He went ahead and sent me a track for me to look at and for me to mix. I went ahead and I did mix it. I sent it over back to him, and he really enjoyed the results. Unfortunately, I mixed it and did everything about 2 weeks ago, but I didn't record it until I got his okay. And since I've gotten the okay and I was trying to upload Ahmed's track on YouTube and stuff like that, I actually forgot what he did versus what I did. So this part of this chapter of my mixing series will not concentrate on possibly, you know, from one person's mixing to another, but what I will do is that I will go over everything in the track, and excuse me, it's late over here, and what I'll do is I'll give you an explanation. I'll give you some of the things to look for, some of the things to look at, and also some of the mastering tools that I used and how I used them. Alright, I've been getting very good responses from doing these type of video tutorials. I want to continue doing them. I'm already getting offers to you know, to do business so far as in mixing individual tracks for mixtapes and tracks for albums and stuff like that. So it's definitely paying off, and I really do appreciate you guys for taking the time to listen, to look at it, spread the word around, give comments, rate it, subscribe. The more feedback that I see that I'm getting, the longer it could be that this becomes something that I do, you know, for a long time. But you know, even if I one day, you know, get into actually mixing as my actual job, I think that I'll still definitely like to connect with my YouTube peeps and be able to, you know, give a little something back. And I'm a firm believer in that. Alright, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to chop off all this stuff, and we're just going to see, the waveform. Again, when it comes to mastering and looking at the waveform, what you want to pay attention to is up here, that most of the air is being used. You don't want it to clip, but you want it to be used. So why don't we go ahead and listen to the track as I mixed it. I bet you can't even hear that, huh? Let me get my volume up. There we go. Let's try it again. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong thing. You can't look at it. Alright, basically get the idea. I'm not going to go through the whole track. So let's look at first things first. Everything here was tracked out. That's a very good thing. Panning was used. Very good thing that I was looking at. We're gonna look at. What we're gonna do is we're gonna solo. Oh, let's do it this way. I think this will be easier. Let's look at what he has here. This is the first track, and let's just look at his drums. What we're gonna do is that we're gonna make sure that we loop the drums. There we go. Alright. First thing that I noticed, and I don't know if you guys can hear it either, there's a ride that comes in way too early. 2, 3, 4, 1. It's on the first count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. So that ride that's coming in the first hit is coming kind of early. I was going to correct it, but I chose not to because first of all, you don't want to have everything so quantized. I'm pretty sure you guys know this. If you guys done any amount of research, you will find out that what a lot of amateurs do is that they want to quantize everything so that everything is nice and tight, and there's a time and a place for that. But it could also be true that you over quantize all the time, like using it so much and you're abusing it, that the beat does not sound organic anymore. And organic, I mean sounds like it's believable. If you listen to music, if you go to a concert, if you know, live performances and whatnot, there are things that happen, there are sounds that happen, and there are not mistakes, but there seems to be a humanity to rhythm that makes it more believable, and our ears can pick up the difference. And the listener ears, and those of you who are producers and you guys are making beats and you're trying to get your beats out and whatnot, you don't want to have your beat sound like a robot did it. You want it to be having a touch of humanity. And one of the ways of doing that is to have sounds not be quantized on the beat, but maybe happen just a little bit before or just a little bit after, for there to be, you know, more of a humanistic feel. Alright, so there's that ride. I was tempted to fix it, but I left it alone, and I think that was a good choice to do. Alright, so let's look at the tracks. Okay. First thing to look at, he has 2 kicks. Alright, and what I did was I went ahead and put a parametric EQ, and I'm going to take those off so that you can see why I did that and how I did that. And because our hearing from the video camera that I'm using is not going to be perfect, I'm also going to use Voxengo Span, which you can get for free, just look it up. But we're going to look at this also so that we can see what it is that we're hearing. I suggest this to be a very good tool for you to use so that you can visually see what's going on, audibly, especially. Pardon me again. Especially if you do not have a quality setup. If you don't have quality monitors, and especially if you don't have a subwoofer. It is not necessarily impossible for you to mix. You can get a pretty good mix without having a subwoofer. What I mean by that is that it's a little bit more than an amateur. But your ears are going to be the #1 tools that you're going to use to mix and to master. No amount of formula. If somebody tells you this and this and this and this and this is what you got to do and that's it, they're lying to you and they don't know what the heck they're talking about. Alright? You're going to have to use your ears. Alright? I'm using visuals because I believe that using a spectrum analyzer does have its place. If not, they would have never made it, #1. And #2, it has definitely helped me to understand what my ears are supposed to be hearing. So you can bridge the gap of how to train your ear by looking at what's going on visually. And that is a representation of what's going on in the spectrum of sound. So there is a place for it, but we're going to use it for the purpose of me showing you what to look for and what it is that I saw. Here goes the kicks. Alright. And from what I see, just in this one kick, we see that this kick pretty much peaks at